how to get him signed into YouTube.
What a great intro, Shane. And welcome in to the Football's King podcast. We're trying to get people logged into YouTube TV right now to, watch the Rangers just absolutely curb stop the Diamondbacks right now. I don't know.
Or Wembanyama.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're looking for a little Wemby action as they're going to get crushed by the Suns tonight as well. So hello. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, we grew in subscribers this week. Continue to let it grow, people. We are halfway through the football season, and we are not halfway to our goal of making it to 100 subscribers. So if we could please spread the love, that would be amazing. But the views has gone up significantly recently. So thank you. We appreciate it. So like, subscribe, rate us on whatever, all the things, 5-star reviews. That'd be awesome. All right. We're talking college football today, and it's a great day to talk about college football. Not only is it Halloween and it's spooky, but, we got a nice tasty little treat from the college football playoff rankings because it was the first week of rankings, and they did exactly what they did last year, and we're going to talk about it again.
I haven't even looked at it.
We'll get there in just a second. Surprise, surprise. They picked someone as a fake number one just to get people to talk about it, which we will.
I did hear that.
But before we get to the college football rankings, we always like to start off our podcast with a little bit of extra. And today we're going to talk about a little bit of, we're in season. It's a sports equinox. Yesterday the sports equinox.
Yes.
Yesterday was a sports equinox, but today we're gonna talk about all the.
Today also is, isn't it?
I don't think so. There's no soccer tonight.
There's no NFL. There is football on though.
We'll do our little quick 5 seconds on baseball and basketball. And Blake and I were talking about this before everyone got on. I'm done with the NBA. I'm officially done with the NBA. They said, "Hey, we're gonna stop people from sitting out of games," and they're already sitting out of games, and it's 3 games into the season. It's BS, and I'm done with it.
What about we were going to stop flopping? I texted Blake the other day during the first game, and I was like, this is the weakest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's crap.
Charles Barkley said it best. I believe he said, "Sir, you make millions of dollars to play basketball 4 times a week. Play the game." 3 times a week, most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, either the owners, I don't know what the collective bargaining agreement is with the NBA, but the owners are getting screwed where these players are just like, yeah, I'm going to play 60 out of 82 games. It's just like,
the players have too much power.
And then they're adding a stupid mid-season tournament that nobody cares about.
Yeah, it's just.
They sure are advertising this.
So, let me tell you.
Nobody cares about that.
I am excited for college basketball. I don't know. I know that starts relatively soon and it hasn't started yet, but give me
next Monday.
Yeah, give me some college basketball.
I cannot wait for college basketball.
Because the NBA is worthless. I know Wemby is exciting to watch and he's a freak of nature, but watching Devin Booker is now already sat out 3 games. Everyone just gets quoted with an ankle injury and then they don't have to play.
It's very annoying.
What I don't get is, what is the point of the in-season tournament? I know there's some.
Because they're trying. There's money involved.
I get that, but I just don't get what the excitement. There's people that are legitimately excited about it. I'm like,
no, they're trying to. Adam Silver is trying to copy college basketball. In the middle of college basketball season, right? We start conference play, and then all of a sudden there's this random weekend where in college basketball we do all that
Maui Invitational.
No, that's the beginning.
No.
Oh, that's the first thing.
That's where you do like the SEC versus Big 12.
SEC or Big 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
But they think that that's going to drum up some sort of excitement. I got 2 words for Adam Silver. Nobody's watching the regular season. Nobody's watching the in-season tournament. I can guarantee that.
Nobody's watching the regular season, and there's no point, especially us, because we all live, well, I guess, I don't know. Do we consider the Dallas Mavericks a big market team? I wouldn't consider them a big market team.
They're not technically a big market.
But they're a bigger market than San Antonio, where every big team from the West that comes to play in San Antonio, LeBron's not going to play that night. Steph's not going to play. Yeah. So, what's the point of going?
That's why
Austin,
they complain about fans.
Well, the benefit of Dallas is they have Luka.
Yeah,
So
but the
everyone's
Spurs
like,
has
oh,
the Spurs have Wemby.
Now
they'll sell out. They'll sell out, and Spurs fans will show up.
Yeah, but it's like you look at what secondary market tickets are nowadays. Even when it's when it says hey, the Lakers are coming to town, because that there's gonna be so many suckers that pay $1,000 to watch LeBron, and then LeBron doesn't even travel. He's sitting at home in LA, and he's just drinking wine, getting a massage, and then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna play once a week. Which
it really is. It's turned into a brutal watch.
Which I will say, LeBron is at an age where him sitting is fine. I'm fine with LeBron sitting. He is very old in terms of athlete years. But De'Aaron Fox or whatever his name is isn't playing tonight. Booker hasn't played 3 games. KD will sit. Steph will sit. They all sit. What's the point?
Didn't Booker? He sat the first game, right?
Yeah, he did.
He has now sat 3 consecutive games.
So I've learned in the past 2 weeks of watching the NBA again after a couple year hiatus here, besides the playoffs. The fourth quarter is truthfully the only quarter that matters.
The only quarter. You could be down by 25 points, and then there's a chance.
Yeah, they finally start playing hard. They finally start playing defense. They finally stop jacking up threes all day.
Yeah. Also, that's the other thing is it's just hey, let's walk down the court, no passes, shoot a 3.
When we were kids, Barry Williamson used to always say, basketball don't matter till playoffs. And me and Blake, as
I disagreed with him.
We used to say, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. Now I'm like, yeah, there's no point watching basketball.
Barry would say basketball doesn't matter until the last 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, my dad loves basketball probably more than any other sport. I don't know if that's true with football, but my dad grew up playing basketball. He loves basketball. My dad loathes the NBA.
Yeah.
He hates it so much because of the flopping, because of just they don't play, true basketball anymore. It's just it's been moneyballed, right? If you want to use the baseball, analogy.
Here's what I honestly think the problem is. The same way with the NFL and college football, right? You watch college football for chaos. You watch the NFL because it's the most perfect version of football. The NBA is that, except for
it's not
basketball. It is a much more exaggerated version.
College basketball is the perfect form of basketball for the absolute because of the chaos. Which basketball, in my opinion, is a chaotic game of just back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. The NFL, or sorry, not the NFL, the NBA is too controlled for basketball. They want controlled chaos.
Well, the problem is you can't ever change the pace of the game, really, because you can't press because the guys are too good on offense. You can't really do anything crazy on defense because the guys are too good on offense.
Yeah.
Can't do anything crazy on offense if the guys are too good at defense.
Well,
so there's no way to change it.
There are some teams that just say F it, we're not going to play any defense whatsoever.
The only thing they really ever do is all of a sudden because they just run pick and rolls all day long.
Yeah.
All of a sudden pick and roll they might not switch, or they might switch.
Yeah. And then the NBA also makes no sense because these teams keep trading for these pariahs that are the James Hardens of the world. Where does anyone spend money to go watch James Harden play basketball anymore besides the strippers?
Why are the Clippers trading for James Harden?
I don't get it. He's at this point, it's been 5 consecutive seasons where that he's a poison, or Ben Simmons. Why are teams still wanting Ben Simmons on their team?
Ballmer is so desperate he doesn't even care.
But James Harden hadn't been happy since he got drafted. He wasn't happy in Oklahoma City.
Okay, so that's another problem with the NBA, right? I hate this about the NBA. Back in the day, right, we had Kobe. Shaq was probably the worst perpetrator of this back in the day, and he wasn't even that bad.
Shaq
Kobe played for one team his entire career. Tim, Tony, Manu played for one team. Dirk, Steve Nash played for 2 teams in his prime?
Yep.
He played for 3 in the end, but he played for 2 when he was good. I mean, all these guys stuck around. You knew what the teams were year after year. Now
technically, Tony played for 2.
We're ignoring that.
Tony went to Charlotte.
I would say, I know as a Spurs fan that you decided to just skip the fact that Tony left San Antonio. Tony left San Antonio. But also, he was out of his prime. He had cheated on Eva at that point. The stupidest decision a man has ever made in his lifetime.
Amen.
But you just never, like, every team, like, a star player gets unhappy, trade me.
Yeah.
I mean, even Dame. Even Dame has now, like, Dame was the last guy that I feel like has just played for one team for forever. And you know what? I do feel bad. I feel bad for Dame, who's just like, hey.
Dame tried, though. Dame
tried.
Embiid's next.
These dudes take no pride in winning.
Yeah, but Embiid is a parasite for their team as well. He's out of shape.
Giannis
that dude is a damn good basketball player.
He is, but did you see him in the clutch moments of the fourth quarter the other day? Just punch a basketball for the worst turnover you've ever seen, because it's hilarious. He was too lazy to run a play because he's tired in the fourth quarter, so they threw him the ball and he just punched it, and it went right to the other team, and they went and scored, and then the Sixers lost.
There's just no pride in these guys anymore. They don't take any pride in nothing.
Their contracts are too good. That's the problem.
The NBA, the owners, give them their own fault, has given these players way too much power.
The NBA sucks.
Yeah, there's no ownership of any company, any sports organization ever. It doesn't matter what it is. If you give your employees that are making $7.25 an hour, or God forbid, $100-200 million a year, too much power, it's going to destroy your league. Or
you know that old segment they used to do on NBA on TNT where they would have Shaq, or they'd have Charles and be like, they would say who he played for.
Yeah, who he played for.
Nowadays, nobody could answer any of those questions.
No.
Yeah, I really like those things that you can see on you could see on social media. I like the trying to. Usually, you see it a lot with soccer, trying to follow a player's career from when they were really young or whatever. It'd be really fun to put just a player from the NBA, and it's 12 teams. Who started out in LA and then Portland and then Milwaukee and then and just keep going.
Crazy too.
You don't even have to do it with the star player. Grayson Allen. How many teams has he played for?
No, that's what I was going to say. That was my next point. So I'm a homer. I'm a Spurs homer to the T. The role players back in the day, you'd even start to identify with. Bruce Bowen he played for a couple teams, but he lasted on the Spurs for 10 years. Rasho Nesterovic played for the Spurs for a lot of years. I mean, Mario Ellie back in the day played for the Spurs for a lot of years. These dudes don't do that anytime.
Who's that guy? Who's that 3-point dynamo who played for the Kings back in the day?
Sasha Nesterovic,
Stojakovic. That's who it was. I was like, you said someone with an itch last name, and that just always makes me think of him. But once again, there you go. I can tell you right there, all of us just off the bat, who's that guy that used to play for the Kings that was a 3-point dynamo, whatever?
Exactly.
It's immediately.
Now you can never do that.
You can't do that anymore.
No.
Who's that guy that played for the Kings, Suns, Lakers, Spurs, Magic?
No, now it's based off of their traits. Hey, who's that diva that traveled from all the teams and then he always threw his head back when he drove the lane? Oh, James Harden. All right, sweet, got you.
Dude, it's these Europeans have gotten.
I mean, who knew Cedi Osman played for the Spurs? Cedi Osman playing for the Spurs?
Yeah,
I never heard of that guy in my life.
I seen that.
He was a lottery pick back in the day. I'm pretty sure.
Grayson Allen is playing for the Suns or something.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say. I will say the best part about these stars sitting is I'm watching Grayson Allen start for the Suns right now.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah,
I thought that game started at 9:30.
No, it's just started.
Or 9.
It's just
$9.
It's honestly
Hey, look, the Spurs are already getting killed. Hooray!
Yeah. These Europeans got too greedy.
It's not the Europeans.
No, the Europeans play basketball the right way.
The Europeans are dominating the
No,
NBA.
they do. But God, during the Spurs as a kid, we made our living off finding these Europeans and whatnots out of nowhere. Nowadays, you find one of these Europeans. Oh, shit. In 2 years, they're going to be going to play for the Indiana Pacers for $82 million a year. I mean, Lord have mercy.
Here's
no
the
one's
trick
going
for
to
you,
Indiana.
My boy Joker
name one
does not
white
care about
American
basketball.
player besides Grayson Allen.
Name one white.
Easy.
White American.
Alex Caruso.
Caruso.
Oh shit. What's his name? Plays for LA Lakers. Went to
Okay,
OU.
exactly.
Austin
What's his
Reeves?
name?
Austin Reeves. Okay, we have
Austin
two.
Reeves.
We have two American white dudes. Three.
I'm just
One
saying.
minute.
Hey, you said name one, and we immediately went to Alex Caruso, who had a sweet dunk last night, by the way.
He did.
Johnny's got his haircut. Johnny's trying to
there you go.
take over his hairdo.
Hey, get the headband. All right, that's enough basketball.
I need to just
Sorry. Hey, last thing on basketball. We already went 5 minutes over our BS basketball section. I love that the whoever is in charge of rankings for basketball also did their classic. Let's rank Texas A&M way too high in basketball. Good job. We're number 15. Go team.
We're gonna be all right this year.
We say that every year, Blake. Just be prepared to get hurt.
We're
Just get prepared to get hurt.
We brought our whole team back, so hopefully.
Watch
All
out.
right.
Kentucky is stupid on paper.
Oh God.
Now we always say,
Bro,
Man,
I'm
this is
telling you,
great.
this team is
We're just
different.
all right. Hey, does anyone want to hit us with another cliche? Shane,
Now
you haven't hit
they're
what's your
fired.
college football or college basketball cliche?
Oh,
Because
Duke's
Blake and
gonna win the
Jonathan,
Natty. Duke's gonna win.
There you
the
go.
Natty.
Hey, they did
No.
get Cooper Flag.
They
Blake,
did.
Blake and Jonathan
upset
said the
about
same
that.
thing. I know that to our listeners, y'all are not privy to our group text, but Blake and Jonathan just said the same things they say in our group text every year. It's great. I can't wait. A month from now, we're gonna be sitting here and Jonathan's gonna be over here. Kentucky sucks.
No.
I'm so mad at Kentucky.
Fire
Texas
Calipari.
A&M,
Fire
Ohio State
Calipari.
next Friday. We'll see if we're any good.
We'll be good. We'll be good. Hey, if
All right.
anyone does want to watch regular season basketball, I am the chump that pays for the NBA League Pass. So I'll send you the login.
There you go.
I wanted to pay just for the Spurs, but I didn't.
Get at us
That's
on
part of the
Twitter if
reason.
you would like Jonathan's login.
It's like $14, dude.
I know, but they're on TV a lot now. All of a sudden,
Well, because of Wemby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
T.
Let's get into the nitty gritty of the night. And before we talk about what actually happened in college football last weekend, it's Christmas came early. Christmas came on Halloween because we got college football playoff rankings to talk about. And oh boy, there's really not that big a surprise. But to make sure that people actually talked about it, the college football playoff committee does what they do every year, and they don't rank the best team as number one. Shocker. So Georgia, two-time defending national champion and undefeated Georgia Bulldogs, are not ranked number one. But Ohio State, who has snuck through so many teams in the terrible Big Ten, but does have Marvin Harrison Jr., who looks pretty good, was ranked number one. Georgia comes in at number two. Michigan, number three. So we're going to get two Big Ten teams in the playoff again for no reason. Florida State, 4. And then Washington ahead of Oregon because Washington beat Oregon last weekend?
2
weekends ago.
Whenever that happened. Whenever Joel McHale painted a dog gold and purple and probably got murdered by PETA. Someone check on Joel McHale.
You want to know?
I'm afraid.
What my honest biggest issue with this ranking is, and it probably, I don't know, maybe not be a popular opinion. Florida State being ranked 4 I'm not saying they haven't won. I get it. They've won. But the games they have played way too close are not worthy of a number 4 ranking.
I would say the same thing of Ohio State and Georgia.
I'd rather see Oregon in there. I mean, than Florida State.
Right now, Oregon might be the best team.
Yeah, I also think that Oregon might be the best team in the country.
Yeah, I do too.
They lost one game to Washington, which Washington has looked terrible afterwards.
Yeah.
The dumb thing is they're setting up this Ohio State-Michigan situation like they do every single year.
Correct.
And that's the annoying part to me is like Ohio State. Georgia doesn't have a leg to stand on because they have not played a single team. Michigan does not have a leg to stand on because they have not played a single team. But Ohio State number 1 seems a little crazy to me.
Georgia's your 2-time national champion. I know they said they don't take.
They're 2-time national champions
Until
and they're
lose,
undefeated. You gotta keep them.
You don't get to drop.
I know that from one year to the next, you can't change it or whatever. Also, it's crazy to me because if you look at all of the polls all year, Michigan has been ahead of Ohio State as well. So it's like Ohio State really went from 3 to 1.
Yeah.
I want it to be known though. Kirby Smart when he wins his third national title this year in a row, he will the first thing out of his mouth in his interview will, they all doubted us. This is 100% what happens every year when they go ahead and drop Georgia down. That whole team will get a speech tomorrow. They doubted you boys. They doubt you boys. Go out there and show them.
I mean, sorry. Let's talk about the Big Ten West for like 32 seconds.
32?
Tell me which of these teams could beat Texas A&M and Texas. What place are we currently in the SEC West? What place is Texas A&M currently in? Like fifth, fourth,
fifth? I think we're fourth. I think we're tied.
All right, ready? Here we go. We're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up, and I guarantee that the answer is gonna be no to all of them. Illinois, could they beat Texas A&M?
No.
Purdue?
No.
Northwestern?
No.
Nebraska?
No.
Nebraska might be rolling, but Wisconsin?
No.
Iowa?
No.
Minnesota?
No.
Could any of those teams?
I'm not sure about Iowa. I'm not sure about Iowa.
Sorry,
honestly.
could any of those teams' offenses score more than 17
No,
points?
but we don't score points either.
That's sorry.
And Iowa's defense is fucking legit.
I agree, but and so is Minnesota's.
Johnny,
But
they can't score more than 3 points a game on offense.
Brother, neither can we most of the fucking time.
I'm just saying, but there's a whole side of the Big Ten that has to average less than 17 points a game on offense, which is insane to me.
It's old Big Ten football.
Yeah.
Which is the worst.
Which is terrible.
It's what they do, guys.
But
I'm watching a game like the Minnesota-Iowa game that was what ended up being 10-7. That's just bad offense.
Yeah,
no, it was 12-16, and then they returned the punt that got called back.
What Austin's getting at is they're taking too much stake in it being the Big Ten.
Oh, no,
they're
no,
not
100%.
They're not evaluating the team for what they are and what they played.
100%. I also think that we need to really consider, is Michigan good or did they just have all the play calls?
No, they're good.
Oh my gosh, that is
wait. Don't get ahead of me on that. We're still on playoff rankings. But
I was just reading Twitter on that.
The majority of our talk today is going to be about the Michigan Wolverines. So before we get to Michigan, because
I have a lot.
I got a lot to say about Michigan. I'm excited to talk about Michigan.
I've never wanted to talk about Michigan so much in my life.
Michigan. By the way, we were talking about this in our group chat. I hope this makes it to you, Jim Harbaugh. Connor Stallions, or however you say the guy's name. His face is out there. You know whose face is not out there? These four gentlemen right here. We will do the same thing for probably significantly less, but still.
You only got 55,000. I'm not taking a pay cut to do that.
Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that I can do my normal Monday through Friday job and also go watch somebody play football for $50,000? Sign me up.
Sign me up.
Good point.
And even we can rotate. We'll split it between the four of us so we don't get caught. What's that? What's that? 12-5 each? I'll do it for 12-5.
I just started my manifesto to become the Michigan.
Hey, no manifestos. Also, is this
going to be 600 pages?
Is this hush money under the table so I don't have to pay the IRS as well?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's a salary. No, he gets paid by the school.
Oh, okay. Whatever. I'll pay taxes. I will pay taxes if you're going to pay me to watch football.
Well,
that's my dream.
He was straight up employed by the school, but they were footing the bill for all the tickets and everything.
Okay.
Look,
all right.
Exactly. Even if you're getting paid, if you split it up between four people, you're getting paid $12.5 to go watch football.
Yeah.
We ain't getting paid shit to watch football right now.
I'm paying to watch football right now. All right.
Yeah, we're paying to watch football.
Hey,
white people are not allowed to make manifestos. It never has
manifestos.
So
before we go down the rabbit holes, let's talk about
start a manifesto.
Let's talk about our outside teams that can possibly make the playoffs.
Johnny likes the Spartans.
So,
think the top.
Out of our, it's got to be a one-loss team. We were just talking about this off air, or was it on air? I don't remember. It was 25 minutes ago. No two-loss team has ever made the playoffs ever in its 9-year history. So, out of the one-loss teams, Which of these has the best chance of making the playoffs?
Alabama.
Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, which it's not them because A&M's going to beat them on Saturday. Probably not, but let's hope for it. Penn State, Mizzou, Louisville.
It's Texas and it's not
Alabama
close, which is
or
unfortunate.
Oregon.
Yeah, it's Texas and it's not close because
It's
the
Alabama.
Big 12 sucks.
Guys, it's Alabama.
No,
It's not, dude. The
No,
Big
okay.
12 is the worst conference in football history.
Jonathan, I
I'm
agree with
putting
your.
put it on right now. K-State beats Texas this week.
I think so too, but if you're just looking at the
I'll
teams
be there.
that are gonna play, the Big 12 is the worst Power 5 conference in the history of college football.
No, yeah, that's fine.
They are
I'm
all
telling you
so
right
bad.
now- I'm telling you right now, Texas gets their second loss.
I
this week.
hope.
I
hope-
Texas looked pitiful on Saturday.
Yeah.
And they won 35-6 or whatever the final score was.
They were playing BYU.
That's my point. All of their games should be blowouts from here on out. The
Okay.
Iowa States of the world that usually are trip ups suck. Oklahoma State sucks. TCU sucks.
I'm
Like
telling you.
Baylor sucks. Like
After
all
this
of the
weekend,
games that are
Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Big 12 championship.
Kansas State is also bad. The fact that they are ranked 25 in the
It's
nation
crazy.
is a travesty.
Well, I'm telling you right now,
No, that's
they're getting beat. Texas is getting beat this week. It's happening.
Oh,
we can
gosh.
only pray for it.
They're going to
I hope
trip
so.
up and they're going to get beat this week.
Well,
Austin's
that's-
going to have a miserable Saturday.
Yep. Not only am I going to the game with my in-laws, but my father-in-law's brother, who is also a UT alum, is going to go as well. So, like, that'll just be – if they lose, it's an 11 a.m. kickoff. That's going to be a really bad Saturday for me.
I'm hoping for a bad Saturday for
Me
you.
too. I
Austin.
am too.
Do we give A&M any chance this weekend? Real talk.
I honestly think we could win the game.
I hate the
Can we
Mississippi
score?
schools. I hate the Mississippi
Do you want to know my honest?
And they always beat us, so I have no chance.
I
Jimbo
hate when we
better
play
flipping
Ole Miss
hope.
and Mississippi State.
Jimbo better hope he wins this game, because if he don't
If
win
we
this
don't beat-
game, him and his entourage better be looking
thought
for
it
a
was
plane
coming.
ride
Thought it was coming.
out.
His
Of college.
Halloween dress
No,
looking
what are you
kid.
talking about? Ole Miss is probably a better football
Okay,
team than we
but
are.
if he loses this game, he's got one game he's gonna win, because if we lose to Ole Miss, we're losing to LSU. So he's gonna win against.
If we
God
lose to
darn
Mississippi
Abilene.
State,
If we
that's where
lose
I
to
draw the
Mississippi
line.
State, he should be fired on the
That's where I
spot.
draw the line. You lose to Mississippi State this year.
Which I know we
You're
always
terrible.
lose to Mississippi State, but Mississippi State is so bad this year that if we lose to them, every single coach, all of them, should be immediately fired, and every player should have their scholarship revoked.
You can't
That's-
lose
that's
to Jackson
drastic,
Dart, the
dude.
king of cultural
Dude, have you seen
appropriation,
Mississippi State play
stupid-
football?
No, they're bad.
the stupid eye paint, one triangle over his eye. He's the king of culture. I swear he's blackface. He's the king of cultural
God.
appropriation. Get rid of this guy. Find a tree. Get him out
Here's
of
the
here.
problem.
I
Here's
hate
the
Jackson
problem.
Dart.
For some reason, Lane Kiffin has it out for us because he doesn't like Jimbo. He literally today he was saying, he was being interviewed by somebody and he said, "That's all right. Jimbo's goal is just to be bowl eligible." I'm like, Jimbo, shut the hell up.
That
Being
is my
bowl
goal.
eligible.
My goal is to be bowl eligible.
You're making $9 million a year.
Because
My goal is to be
at this
bowl
point, if we are not bowl eligible, that means that we're going to lose to an FCS team this year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
ACU.
So
Dude, if we lose to ACU, everyone needs to be fired.
No, there will be a mass shooter at Kyle Field if he loses to ACU.
okay, all right.
I am. Hey,
all right.
that goddamn kissing tree or whatever they got, the engagement tree down there.
Hey, I'll take it.
Shane's
I'll
about to
rent-
say something
I'm-
drastic.
Shane, if you touch
I'm
the
renting
century tree, I will
Jimbo
kick your
from him
ass.
from
No,
that
Shane.
tree.
if we lose to ACU, I'll show up with you, and we're gonna cut the century tree down.
If,
Yeah,
if either of you touches the
going
century
out.
tree,
I'm
I
with
will
you. I'm
kick
burning
your
it
ass.
down.
It might be bad luck. I'm pulling a Harvey Updike. That sucker's coming to the ground.
Yeah,
Let's do
I
it.
got a steel chainsaw. I'll get me a freaking
Man,
battery
you wanna
powered
talk
Harbor
about-
Freight and take down that goddamn tree. If Jimbo,
We've gotten a lot of views recently for our A&M talk and the way that I've posted the podcast. We just lost all of them.
No,
right
I
there.
feel like everybody
Every
would
single
agree.
one just got lost.
I feel like
think
I feel like we could have a mass group go.
No,
and-
Jonathan, you don't touch the tree.
Hey,
you
also,
thought January
it's also-
we
6th
don't lose
was just
football
a dust
games.
up. You wait till Jimbo loses to ACU. You want to talk about a dust up? We're gonna have a dust up now.
they thought the insurrection was bad.
Yeah. You thought that guy in the Viking cap was bad. Let Jimbo lose to ACU.
I'm gonna
Maybe
be
that's
trolling.
how we
I'm gonna
get
be
him
trolling
fired.
Kyle Field with the Viking cap on.
Wait,
Yeah.
maybe that's how we get him fired. We start a rumor that Jimbo Fisher was at January 6th.
Yeah, he has
He
no.
was the leader.
I bet
of the
he has no receipts from
insurrection.
January 6th.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the fun part of the episode.
Oh yes.
Let's talk about the Michigan Wolverines.
Yes.
The title of this week's episode is going to be more Michigan malfeasance because I found a big word that also started with M, and I love some alliteration. Before we get to all of this, today it came out that Jim Harbaugh might get an extension, and then also
They turned it down.
did they? Okay.
No.
Michigan-
2 days ago they said they revoked it. Now today
Yeah.
they're saying that they're trying to hurry up and finish it.
Yeah, they're trying to hurry up and finish his extension on the same day that the pictures come out of the guy on the CMU sideline against Michigan State, which I'm sorry. If you have to cheat to beat Michigan State this year, we got problems. But I have a hot take of all hot takes. I am so against the cheating scandal of Michigan. Like, stealing signs is fine. The way that they are stealing the signs is not fine. However, Michigan State has proven to be a bunch of Hitler-supporting Nazis, and so everyone should cheat to beat Michigan State. And if you have a problem with that, you have a problem against freedom, so you better watch out.
Yep.
I like it. I like it.
I
And
agree.
you're all sex offenders.
I was going to say there's also been other atrocities committed by Michigan State.
Yeah, but well, that's a different issue for a different day. We're talking about the football team,
Okay,
not the gymnastics program.
but I want it to be known. What's the guy's name?
Connor Stallion.
Connor Stallion could be my best friend. I want more people in my life like Connor Stallion.
Whoa.
Dude's a freak.
That
Dog.
dude has it going on. What a
That dude is on every watch list by
I
every
love
government
all
agency.
Psychopaths. I love people that are just like extremely insane. That's why I love Shane. And I think Connor would fit into our group. What if we extend an
Whoa,
offer?
hey.
What
Some
if
of
we
our group.
extend an offer for Connor to come on our podcast and just clear it all up?
You
Here's
know
the
what?
Oh,
Hey,
I'm in.
Jonathan,
I'm
no,
in.
seriously, send this guy an email because if we could do that, that would be incredible. You know how many views we
It
would
would
get?
shoot our
I
podcast
mean,
up
like
so
email
fast.
that guy right now.
Be like-
And just like, hey, man, we
Be
have
like,
a
hey,
podcast.
man,
You want to come
Big
clear it up?
fan, huge fan.
Hey, we got a really small podcast. No one will see it
No one will
because
see it.
you know all the big shows have reached out to this guy for sure.
Dave Portnoy offered him a job.
Yeah,
like millions of dollars to
So-
come work at Barstool.
yeah.
He doesn't have an Instagram.
I wonder if
Well, I'm sure he probably got it. I'm pretty sure he probably can't like.
you think he's
delete
got
it
an.
all
Do you think
social
he's
media.
got an NDA with Michigan?
probably.
I
Yeah.
bet at this point he's got an NDA.
You know what's
going.
crazy? You know what's crazy? I was listening to someone, or I was reading a story about him. So
Those can be
he was a Michigan super fan for like years
Ever.
and years and years before he was like college age. He got accepted to go to Michigan, but he felt like if he went to the Marines, he'd be better prepared to be the coach at Michigan.
Well, so all his football coaching idols were veterans.
Yes.
So he decided to go to the
Naval Academy.
Naval Academy so he could become a veteran, so he could be a better football coach. So one
Dude's a
day
freak.
his 500-page manifesto will come true and he can become the head football coach of Michigan. I want this guy in my life. This guy needs to be my friend.
I'm sorry. There's no way he wrote 500 pages.
Supposedly he did.
Supposedly he has a
No.
500-page manifesto.
I mean, is this
about it.
this like handwritten with like size 78 font? I don't think y'all realize how much 500 pages is.
500 is a lot.
As
But
someone
here's the
as
thing.
a chemistry major at Texas A&M, who had like lab reports that were 67 pages long, but most of them were data. Do you know how many pages 67 pages is? It took forever. 500 pages would take 7 years to write.
They're all saying 500
Nah.
pages. I don't know who has manifesto.
This thing is this.
Hey, wait.
It's this guy with one crayon going one word
could
per
be.
page. That's his manifesto.
I just looked up how to contact Connor Stallion. Not much comes up, but you get on Reddit, and this is what it says.
All right, here
The
we go.
football world always needs a hero. This guy is the go-getter this country needs and should be celebrated and given a canvas for his creative vision, passion, and raw gumption. He should be the next head coach of Michigan football.
I agree.
I bet that post was written by Connor Stallion.
Probably.
It's all part
You know
of
what's
his plan.
crazy?
He
You know
is a
what's crazy?
visionary and literally has 20/20 vision.
DM that guy and be like, "Hey, are you Connor Stallion? And
It's-
would you like to
it's-
come on our podcast?"
Page 222 of his manifesto says, blast all over Reddit about yourself,
Yeah.
about how great you are.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's crazy? There was Reddit posters like 2 years ago that were posting like, "Hey, I have this friend who knows a guy who's being paid by Michigan to go scout," and everyone was like, "You're an idiot!" Like, message board posters like, "You're an idiot. You're making stuff up. It's all true."
I bet he leaked it on purpose. I bet that's part of his 500-page master plan.
He's mad.
And then
he's mad he doesn't get any of the credit.
correct. And then he's gonna his plan is probably because he's a sociopath to go to the board of directors or whatever and be like, "Hey, you see the initiative I took?
Yeah.
Make me head coach."
Did y'all see the picture of him on the sidelines? He's wearing those sunglasses like an idiot, but there's a little blue dot in the sunglasses, like on the corner of the side of the sunglasses, as if it's like a light, as like it's a camera. And you see him peering around, looking at the signs. And I'm like, he is videoing the signs.
That's amazing.
I mean-
that is incredible. I need this guy in my life. I need this guy to be my friend.
So my point though is if you're Michigan and you have this guy filming all the teams, you only film Ohio State.
Yeah.
If you're smart,
What?
yes.
Why would you send him to watch Rutgers play? You're gonna crush Rutgers.
But he saw all the Big Ten teams besides one.
That's my point. But why would you not just send him to every Ohio State game?
He was at
That's the only game that matters on Michigan's schedule is Ohio State. Every other game is worthless. They're gonna win by 20.
he was at the other playoff game last year.
Okay,
They lost to
which
TCU.
did y'all see the thing? So TCU beats Michigan, obviously. Y'all saw the report that all of the Big Ten coaches contacted Sonny Dykes and said Michigan knows your signals, and they switched it up. And you'll notice,
No.
yeah. So every Big Ten team apparently contacted, including Ohio State. Apparently Ryan Day contacted Sonny Dykes and said they know your signs. And you will notice, what's the one game that Michigan's defense looked bad all year last year?
It was
against TCU, and TCU just tore them apart.
So
Also, how
For the
many
frauds?
blown coverages were in that game by Michigan? That's how
they won.
TCU just kept scoring on big plays on blown coverages because they were doing fake signs. And the report even said that Sonny Dykes said that it was not Sonny Dykes that said that there was somebody within the TCU building said that they would do their old sign and also their new sign, and that the players knew to disregard the old sign and only listen to the new sign, and that they just torched Michigan.
Yeah, I read they had one of the dummies doing all the old signs,
Mm-hmm.
and then they weren't looking at that dude at all. Obviously,
I love this guy's initiative, though. I mean,
it is
okay.
The crazy part is,
So do you think
Michigan's not going to get in trouble for this?
No.
Do you think he came up with the plan and approached Harbaugh, or do you think Harbaugh came up with the plan and approached him?
I think he went up to Harbaugh and said, "Hey, I have this plan," and I guarantee Harbaugh said, "Just don't tell me about it."
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
I will say this though. both Harbaugh brothers are shady as crap. They are so shady.
Well, he
Yeah, but
has
that's
like
why-
a huge reputation in the NFL for being like a control freak that's a psychopath.
That's
Yeah,
why
I-
they get a stallion.
I-
That's why they get a stallion in their corner. That, like Blake said, they can say, "Look, I don't know nothing about it. You do you, boo boo. You do your."
I read somewhere that they were like basically nobody mentioned it. Like Jim obviously knew that something was going on, but I read somewhere they said basically all the assistants were like, nobody say anything to Jim about exactly what's going on.
No, I guarantee you, it's Harbaugh told an assistant to tell an assistant to tell an assistant to tell an assistant to tell Stallion.
Exactly.
But no, the way you said it was Stallion came up and said to an assistant, like, "Hey, I'll do this," and then it was just like, "Hey, whatever,
No, I
do
think it
whatever."
went up to Harbaugh. I guarantee.
Or even, but I think that there was a direct order from Jim Harbaugh. Hey, you go tell this guy to tell this guy
Yeah.
to tell this guy to tell Stallion. Go film. I don't think that Stallion made the first approach. I think Harbaugh did it because I think both Harbaugh brothers are shady as all can be.
Okay.
Because of what we know about Stallion now, I could see him walking up to Harbaugh and then Harbaugh being like, I don't want to know about this. But then after the fact, Harbaugh being like, hey, go tell this kid, like, do this.
Yeah.
And then this person goes tell this person, go tell this kid to do this. All I know is it's shady as heck.
Oh, but
It
it's
is
so
funny.
fun. Every day
Every day it gets
also,
deeper.
who are these people? Who are these people that have all day to pan over every frame of college football? Hey, what's up, Sarah? To pan over every. Sorry, she just entered the screen. To like, who's going to watch the CMU Michigan State game? To be like, hey, is that Connor Stallions right there on the sideline? Like that was from like week 1 of the season this year. And, like, there are people going frame by frame through every single
There
Big
are a
Ten
lot
game.
of people that have no lives.
This is
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Only college football this happens.
It's college. That's why college sports are great. They're not the best, but they're great.
I mean,
Hilarious.
in my head, I hope he came up with the plan and he approached Harbaugh. And I really, really hope that one day we get a great 30 for 30 on this.
Oh, it's gonna be
And I hope it gets deeper and bigger. And then I hope he just comes out and he's like, I came up with the plan. Harbaugh knew this. Like, I hope he just drops it.
How many years?
Look at the photos again, though. If the lengths he went to, he was wearing Nike shoes. Well, CMU wears Adidas shoes, so he had literally took markers and tried to make it look like an Adidas sign on his shoe.
That's good.
Oh, that's incredible.
How many?
This dude should be a Navy SEAL. Why are we not got this guy as a Navy
Oh,
SEAL?
dude, that Navy. He definitely rang the bell for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way
He'll
he
make
rang
it
that
in
bell
that-
so fast.
Sociopaths don't make it in that area.
How many
He's
years?
not a sociopath. He's an innovator.
Oh, he's definitely a sociopath.
How many years from now is Connor Stallions on the college football playoff committee?
Oh, next year.
Go recognize we need his ingenuity.
I mean, if Condoleezza Rice can make it on, let's put Connor Stallions on for sure. He's at least watched the film. We know he's watched the film.
My dude knows football. If anyone
He knows football. He studies tape.
He knows ball.
And he's not
ball.
sitting in that committee with a suit and tie in an uncomfortable chair watching
No,
a
he's
20
undercover as one of the chairs. He's sitting there in a fake chair design, just like, all right, here we go.
This is Harry Potter. He's like
invisibility cloak. Let's do this.
Yeah.
It is.
All right.
The whole thing is very bizarre and funny, though.
Let's talk about actual games that happened this past weekend. The Aggies beat South Carolina. Do we care?
Nope. Boring.
Okay.
If they lost to South Carolina, we
would
have already had an
This
insurrection.
podcast will be 6 hours long if we would have lost South Carolina with the Michigan State or with the Michigan news. That would have been. It would be a rough podcast for the listeners. Good for the Aggies. You know what? I'll say that. I will say that game did bring up one of my biggest annoyances in football. Intentional grounding should get a sack to the defender on the stat sheet.
100%.
Spencer Rattler had like 8. He had like 8 intentional groundings, which was great. But like the Aggies defense played awesome, and the commentators were just like thrashing him. But like, why would you? No. They were thrashing him for so long. They started at the beginning of the game when South Carolina was winner. was winning, his dick was very far down the throats of the commentators. But that's what Shane just said. I just had to clarify for our listeners. But once he started, like, that's exactly what Shane meant by that.
Oh man, our mom's listening to
but
this.
they started to roast the guy, and I was like, he's doing the right thing. Why would you risk taking a sack and a fumble when you could just throw the ball away and it's the same thing?
But
also, there's a chance these idiot refs don't call it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One thing I will, I don't give Jimbo much praise on this show, but when they interviewed him at in between quarters after we got hosed on that touchdown, and he pretty much straight up said refs hosed us, I was all about it. Now, I do have one question. Why does Moose Muhammad not play one single snap of a whole football game? That is absolutely asinine.
Well, let me tell you, Shane, what Jimbo had to say.
I know what Jimbo had to say. That's my problem. The guys ahead of him are playing better. Shut up, Jimbo.
Dude, I don't know. Moose has not played well at all this season. I'm on Team Jimbo there.
He hadn't played at all this season, already.
Because he doesn't look good. I don't know. He played at the beginning of the year and didn't look good. I like to know
about that catch though. That was the greatest catch I've ever seen by a defensive end turned tight end.
Yeah.
And those dumb refs said that wasn't a catch. In what universe was that not a catch?
Bad. That was bad.
It was. That's what I don't get. How do you say there's not enough evidence to overturn it? The dude straight up caught the ball, drug a foot. It's NCAA. You only need 1 foot. Drug a foot. Never bobbled the ball. Never didn't look like he was in control. Oh, there's not enough evidence to overturn it. What world are you watching this football game in?
We need to interject some more comment. We say this every week. There needs to be common sense. It was obviously a catch.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. I'm glad that the game didn't come down to, like, we lost by like 3 or something like that.
I just knew it was.
Yeah, because I mean, it was just it was obviously a catch. It was a great play, but for those who haven't seen it, go look it up. It's a good catch by, as Blake said, a defensive end turned tight end or fullback or whatever his position was.
Yeah,
heck of an athletic play, and what a surprise! SEC refs suck. All right, moving on. Sorry, what'd you say, Blake?
Get ready, Texas, for these SEC officials.
Yeah, it cracks me up because I love it. My in-laws and my wife or whatever, like, I can't wait to be rid of Big 12 referees. And I'm like, just wait. I mean, I don't think that they're any worse. I think that they are equally as bad. But like,
it's the greatest football conference in America with the absolute worst officials.
But I will say this. UT, you're one of the darlings of the Big 12, so you've been getting the calls. You will not be one of the darlings of the SEC, so brace yourself.
Wait till a call goes against them against Alabama.
Yeah, wait till you're playing Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Tennessee. I mean, you're gonna see some shady stuff happen.
Alabama. These refs love LSU.
I mean, they do.
They do. Texas is going to be the loudest ones of everyone.
Yeah,
let's move it to getting those calls.
Let's move it to the most exciting conference in football, the Pac-12. They're not the best, but they're the most exciting. But Oregon just absolutely took Utah to the woodshed, and it was at Utah. Tough barn to play in.
That's a good football team.
Oregon is playing the best football, in my opinion. They just are unfortunate that they lost to Washington.
Yeah, but that was the best Washington's played all year, too.
Yeah. But if Oregon beat Washington,
they're a lock.
Oh, yeah.
They're a lock, but are they number 2 right now?
They're number 1 to me. They're number 1.
You beat Utah. They might. You beat Washington. They beat another ranked team, I believe.
USC, right? Surely they played USC.
Yeah,
already.
They beat USC. Yep. They beat USC.
Colorado was
Colorado.
Played them somehow.
But
they didn't just beat Colorado.
I'm not even sure what Dion would use for that one.
Yeah, I think they would be 1 or 2.
That was some bull jive.
I think they would be 1 or 2, and it would be interesting to see what the committee would have to say on that.
They should be 1.
Yeah, if you're not going to put Georgia number 1, if Oregon was undefeated right now, and you're not going to put Georgia number 1, you have to put Oregon number 1.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia should be number one regardless until they lose.
Yes.
Which we've already talked about.
I don't.
Other than that, there were no upsets for the top 5 teams. It was a kind of boring week of college football, in my opinion.
Oklahoma.
They were not a top 5 team, but that was where we're going next. Oklahoma loses to Kansas.
They're dead.
I mean, they look terrible. I will say, I think that this is bad for the University of Texas.
I agree. They needed to be undefeated.
All of my coworkers and in-laws and things disagree with me, but I'm sorry. Like, Texas is gonna win the Big 12. It's a lock. I would bet, even if Texas loses against Kansas State this weekend, I would still go bet that Texas wins the Big 12 because these other teams will not win out.
I agree. The problem Texas is going to have at the end of the year, they needed Oklahoma to be undefeated because
correct.
At the end of the year, when it comes down to it, they're going to say, who have you beat? They beat Alabama on the road. Great win. And that is it.
That is it. And Oklahoma is going to lose multiple football games.
Yeah, let's say they lose. Let's say they lose one more game. So then you beat Oklahoma, and they're ranked what, 20? So you beat Oklahoma and you beat Alabama.
No, you didn't beat Oklahoma. You lost to Oklahoma.
Well, I guess they may not even make it to the Big 12 championship if they lose twice.
Yeah, they won't. They could, but they won't.
So who's your marquee win? Alabama. That's it.
That's all you got.
Which is not a bad. I mean, that's a good win. But you didn't.
I mean,
yeah, but when you're going up against people with 2 or 3 marquee wins, that's not a good resume to have.
They're going to do this BS that they always do. They beat Kansas, who is ranked. I don't understand how the college football playoff rankings
with a backup
Kansas, Oklahoma State, or Kansas State ranked. They're all bad. They're so bad.
Oklahoma State got murdered by South Alabama.
Exactly my point. They lost. Oklahoma State lost by 26 at home to South Alabama. And this is why the college football playoff committee is stupid. They have them ranked number 22.
Yep.
Because they are 6-2. But it's like one of those 2 losses. It's a South Alabama. You should immediately, if you lose to South Alabama at home by 26, you should be not allowed to be ranked ever again.
It's like they don't take into account the conference they play in. It's like they playing.
They take into the fact that it's a Power 5, and then they say, "Oh, well, they're winning all their Power 5." Well, sometimes the Power 5 team sucks.
Let's see who they've beaten.
Yeah, the Pac-12 in the past 10 years sucks.
They beat Kansas with a backup quarterback. They beat Kansas State. And they lost to South Alabama by 26.
I'm telling you, Kansas State is not going to beat Texas because they lost to Oklahoma State. They're bad.
I think they're all bad.
They're all bad. They're all equally bad, and Texas is good. That's the difference.
Yeah. They're all very bad besides Texas.
The Oklahoma is a bad team.
Oklahoma's lost 3 times by now.
Yeah, they're all bad, except for Texas is good or average, whatever you want to call them. But the Big 12 is just so bad, and then they're all going to beat each other that it's just like there's no point.
I agree. I think Texas – I hope selfishly Texas drops one. But I do think there's no chance.
Which is possible because Texas doesn't have Quinn Ewers, so they're not really great right now because Malik Murphy ain't it. And
he's big, but he ain't that good.
I bet you do see Arch this week.
I doubt.
I still don't think they're going to play him.
So I do think that this game might get to a point where it's like 10-7 in the second half.
And they have to do some.
And they need some points. And Malik hasn't got it done.
What is the rules on red shirt and what takes away?
4 games.
Who cares, man? Like at this
Arch
point,
is gone. If Quinn Ewers stays, Arch is gone.
At this point, he's
going to Bama, and he's going to be the next Bama star.
I'm just saying, like, what's the point of even worrying about redshirting? Because you're going to go pro early. Everyone goes pro early.
I just don't think he's that good. That's the problem. I don't think
he is either. We'll find out.
It doesn't matter. He's got the build and the name. He's gonna get drafted.
Sark is gonna feel the pressure because if they do start losing in the game and Malik Murphy does not look good as he has not really the past 2 weeks, then everyone's gonna start yelling for him. Sark is going to feel some pressure.
I'm gonna be one of
Well,
them. I would love to watch Arch play.
I think I said it on this podcast.
They could be up 26-0, and I'll be like, Arch. I want to see it. I'm gonna be there. Show me the boy.
Sark should be getting the pressure if he don't make the playoffs with this team in that conference. He should be getting
for sure.
He should be on the hot seat.
They should have went undefeated, but the fact that they lost is already terrible.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Are the Vatos partying it up?
Probably.
All right, let's get to it. Last thing before we wrap up today. If the season ended today, who is your Heisman Trophy winner?
Bo Nix.
Penix
had it, but he sucked the past 2 weeks.
Bro, Bo Nix's numbers are legit.
Who else do you give it to?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
He hasn't done much.
No, he hasn't done shit.
He didn't do it.
I disagree.
Weeks.
I think he has
The first
won
2 weeks
Ohio
he
State
didn't,
multiple
and
football
he-
games.
The past 3 weeks he has, but the first 4 weeks he didn't do anything.
Fine. What's his name from Georgia? Won multiple football games by himself.
Brock Bowers?
Yeah.
The problem is Brock Bowers has not played every game. I would be all over Brock Bowers. I love Brock Bowers.
I'm trying to find someone besides a quarterback because I'm tired of watching the quarterback.
Well, that's not gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quarterback. I will say I like Keon Coleman from Florida State. He doesn't deserve to win the Heisman, but I like him. He's good. He's fun to watch.
I'm still gonna go just Marvin Harrison Jr.
You can get Bo Nix right now at plus 600.
I just don't know who else you get.
Would you like to guess who is the betting favorite as of Halloween night at 10:08 Central Time?
Michael Penix.
It's Michael Penix.
He sucked the past 2 weeks, though.
Would you like to guess who is in second place? This grinds my gears.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
Nope. Caleb Williams is not even in the top 5.
Good. He don't deserve to be.
Who
is
it?
Cord.
Caleb Williams is currently 9th. Behind a person I have never heard of. Who the frick is Ollie Gordon II?
Oh, he's a running back from somebody, isn't he?
I don't know. He's ahead of Caleb Williams right now.
Yeah, this Ollie Gordon guy came out of nowhere. He's a running back at Oklahoma State.
Okay. Good for him.
He's putting up crazy numbers, apparently. I heard about it. Actually, I heard about him today, literally.
Who's number 2?
J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, my gosh.
Ollie Gordon is averaging 8 yards a carry.
That's great. Jaden Daniels is 3rd, and I'm here for Jaden Daniels.
I like Jaden Daniels.
He's on a bad team, but he's a great player.
They've lost twice. Is the only problem.
If he was playing for Georgia, he would be a hands down favorite.
If he was playing for Georgia, Georgia would win every game by 50 points.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Is someone got a never mind.
Yeah. What's going on here?
Yeah, there's some audio issues. I don't know what it is.
It sounds like a bubbling, like someone's boiling water.
Sounds like someone's smoking a Laramie.
You have a freaking candle? You had a candle, didn't you?
Yeah, Sarah lit a candle.
SOB.
It's like one of those wood candles that makes noise.
Man, our audio for this whole hour has been ruined.
The whole hour it's been going. I'm happy Shane said it. I thought I was just hearing it and I was hearing shit. But also my other comment is, Blake, do you record all podcasts in your boxers?
I'm in shorts, bro.
Oh, it looked like you were in boxers, dude.
They're just like canvas shorts.
I was secretly hoping someone was smoking a gas mask, and I was like, "Hey, why aren't we sharing?"
Like Sarah's back there.
I said the only option would be Sarah's back there is just smoking a bong, but it's fine.
No, it's just a candle. Mom, it's just a candle that makes noises.
I wish
the
I
wick
could
on
smoke
it is real wood.
Sarah,
all right, well,
weed away.
The fact that we're talking about candles means it's time to wrap up this episode right at about an hour. Good job, team. I guess we'll talk about we've been kind of rushed for time lately at the end of our episodes, and we've kind of skipped the gambling section. So let's talk about it. I'm not gonna lie. As a podcast, we are doing significantly better than we were last season at this point in time in the gambling section.
I'm not doing great.
We're not doing great. No one's doing great, but we're all flirting with 500 at the moment, which is fine. It's not great. You're gonna be losing on the VIG for sure. But Jonathan and I are both in the positives with 15 wins and approximately 12 losses. Jonathan has a push because he does that thing where he does threes and whatever. And the Twins are both at 12 and 15. So I mean, it's not terrible. It's not. We're doing much better. There's no one like last year at this point in time. We had people that were like 7 and 22. Like it was bad. It's still anyone's game at this point in time.
Good job, Shane. Way to turn it around.
Yeah. Our biggest losers from the past week was we had the Beavers let us down. Arizona is taking some scalps in the Pac-12 when it comes to gambling this year. Also, the Chiefs crushed a lot of people. But, Jonathan might have found something with the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Might be a wagon right now on covering spreads.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers.
And you know what? Great for Blake. Blake covered a spread where Kirk Cousins tore an Achilles and still covered. So what a win. Also, the Green Bay Packers, they might be dead. And
they're the worst team in football.
You might want to find out. You might get our opinions on that if you listen to tomorrow's episode where we talk about NFL football. But for today, that's going to do it. We appreciate all the support. We'll see you tomorrow. And you know what? We hope that all of your bets and things and your college football teams, except for the Texas Longhorns, win their games this week. All right.
Right manifestos.
No manifestos. But you know what? Hopefully next week we have another Michigan update because that was fun.
It's only getting crazier.
I hope it gets crazy.